I'm going to read you a story that has been written by Emory Mackey. She is aged 11. Her hometown is Frierson, Louisiana, and she plays second. And this story that she has written that I'm very excited to read you is called Born to Be Free. In the early 1800s, there lived a Native American girl named Moon Singer, and she lived in what we now call Montana, in a village of teepees near a river. One day, her mother sent her to go look for berries, and Moon Singer put on her deerskin bag that hooked onto her belt and started off. She crossed the river and she went over a hill. She just started picking berries from a huge patch when she heard a whinny from what sounded like wild horses. She snuck up the hill and she hid behind a bush to watch. And she saw a group of about 20 pale-faced men trying to capture a herd of about 100 wild horses. And she recognized the herd as one of the wild herds that she'd seen from afar before. Moon Singer knew that she had to save the horses, and she looked around to see what she could do. And then she had an idea. If she could climb a tree, her plan might work. She snuck down the hill and she climbed up a tree. And she looked around until she saw the lead mare. She jumped out of the tree and onto the mare's back, and she used her knife to cut the rope around the mare's neck. And she rode the mare around, cutting the rest of the ropes that were on the herd. And after all the men ran away, she jumped off the mare's back. The mare dipped her head in acknowledgement, and she reared on her hind legs, and the whole herd then vanished into the mountains. And Moon Singer turned and walked back to the berry patch to finish picking berries. And when she got back to her village, she told her chief everything that had happened. He congratulated her on her bravery and quick thinking. And after she ate, she went to bed very tired, but happy, because she'd saved the horses. The next day, she went to her secret spot on the other side of the river at the base of the mountain. And when she sat down, she heard yelling around the other side of the mountain. She peeked around the mountain and saw a pale-faced man standing next to a wild horse that he had captured. And he was angrily mumbling to himself because the wild mare had bitten him really bad. 3 of his fingers were broken, and she angrily thought that he deserved that for trying to capture a wild horse. And she looked closer at the wild mare, and she realized that it was the same mare as yesterday. And she saw that there was a defeated look in her eyes. And there was no sign of that wild spirit that had been there yesterday. Anger filled Moon Singer. Wild horses were born to be free, not captured and tamed. The man spoke of some of Moon Singer's language. He'd learned it while traveling with some Native American guides. Moon Singer came out of the bushes and she started yelling angrily at the man in her language. And she told him that he had no right to capture wild horses who were born to be free. And to her surprise, the man said he was sorry, and he dropped the rope and he backed away slowly. Moon Singer cut the ropes once again, and the mare dipped her head in acknowledgement and galloped off into the mountain. Moon Singer watched her disappear, and then she turned back to the man, and she helped him. She put herbs and a cloth on his fingers to ease the pain and heal the broken bones, and he was very grateful for her care. As the years went by, Moon Singer grew into a beautiful young woman. She kept seeing glimpses of the mare. The pale-faced man and Moon Singer eventually got married. They started speaking out against capturing wild horses. Moon Singer said the wild horses were born to be free. She said that she had learned 3 things in her life. Wild horses were born to be free, stand up for the right thing, and always help the helpless.